topic, Appraise the effectiveness of the treatment in extracranial stenosis by Angioplasty and Stenting at the S.I.S Cần Thơ Hospital from 2021 and 2022. The author is Dr. Nguyễn. So, the content of the introduction about the extracranial stenosis, abstract, the substitution research method, result we will discuss. First, in USA, a country with the high system and medical system, and the government take care of the people, but 1 year there are about 800,000 people who were admitted to hospital because of the stroke. 200,000 of them is the recurrent stroke, and about 140,000 people was dead by stroke. So stroke leading the cause of death and disability. Stroke, the cause of stroke, the cerebral infarction or ischemic stroke, and the cerebral hemorrhage. With the ischemic stroke, due to the various causes, cardiac thrombosis, the stenosis, but severe stenosis of the extracranial carotid artery accounting about 15 to 20% of them. So the treatment for the severe stenosis of the extracranial carotid artery include the carotid endarterectomy or the carotid artery stenting. We call CAS. The CAS is less invasive, safe, less painful, and have a shorter hospital stay. So, two main objectives of this study. First, the clinical characteristic and the imaging feature of the patient with the stenosis who underwent the the EVT and stand for angioplasty and stent placement as S.I.S Cần Thơ. And we evaluate the result of the treatment. So, this is the lesson of stenosis of carotid. We can say that the lesson is too narrow because the lipid layer, there's the anatomy of carotid artery, we choose the classification of Butelier. Place the carotid into 6 or 7 segments with the extracranial about the C1 and C2. So the clinical of the patient, we split into 2 groups, the symptomatic and asymptomatic. This is the imaging on DSA about the lesson extracranial stenosis. You can see that nearly occlusion by the lesson. This is the web lesson. So to make the diagnosis, we have the imaging invasive and non-invasive. At our hospital, we choose the invasive imaging is DSA, and non-invasive we choose US ultrasound, the CTA, and or MRI. So the treatment, we have the internal medicine, CAS or C. The internal medicine is the treatment for the whole patient with extracranial stenosis. But if the degree of stenosis is over 50%, we have to choose the patient for the indicators for CAS or C. So this is the lesson when we use the MRI to study. We need the nearly occlusion, the ICA, nearly occlusion. When we make the angiogram, we can see that the stenosis lesson. So this is how they make the CAA, where open the carotid, open the vessel, and remove the inner layer. Remove the inner layer of the vessel. Or we choose the angioplasty and stenting. So that the subject and research method, the patient selection criteria. First, we on the patient with cause indicated according to the 2011 with the guideline of AHH or ASA recommendation and consenting to participate into the study, or the ICA dissection and web lesson. We use the NASET to calculate the degree of stenosis with the A in the segment when it's narrow, and B the proximal. But we have the occlusion criteria. Example, complete carotid artery occlusion. We don't choose them. Or the modified ranking scale over 3 points indicated moderate or severe disability. Another critical occlusion, like previous intervention, involved stent placement or surgery on the side of intervention. Angioplasty poor angioplasty without vascular stenting. The significant stenosis over 50% in the intracranial artery on the side. We have one patient with in the other side of the intervention, we choose for this our study. The emergency carotid artery stenting is not in the study. The diagnostic imaging procedure, we can have a local or general or total anesthesia. But also for almost case, we just only use local anesthesia 100%. And insert a catheter into the right femoral artery using the 5F or 6F shape, and selective 5F catheter to perform imaging to make the diagnosis, evaluate the degree of stenosis and any lesion in the cerebral artery. Yeah. This is the femoral artery, and this 8F catheter, AF shape. Yeah. After we make the angiography. The intervention procedure, we use heparin. We played 8-alpha guiding catheter, super selected by the 014 micro catheter, microwave through the stenosis segment. Optionally deploy the EPD to prevent the embolism. Optionally perform the predilation of angioplasty. Play the stent across the stenosis segment. You either the open cell or the closed cell stent, and optionally will perform the post-dilation angioplasty. This is the procedure. So the criteria about the procedure success. That procedure is deemed success if the vessel lumen diameter after stent replacement at residual been low 30%, and there are no severe complications like MI or death post-procedure. The intra and post-procedure event, we consider hypotension, the bradycardia, stroke, or death, and primary event within 1 month and 3 months post-procedure. We ask about the stroke, the MI, or death. So this is the result. So the rate about the male and female, It's similar like another study about the 3.5. The age, the minimum age is about 66 years old, like another study, another research. With the patient over 70 years old is about 30%. So the risk factor because hypertension, diabetes, smoke, overweight or obesity, and dyslipidemia. Smoke. I want to say about smoke. Smoke have the tendency that the patient with stenosis will have the complication or symptomatic like stroke, TEA. The clinical patient when admitted to the hospital due to the stroke, so that the hemiplegia or hemiplegia about 56%. Another symptom like the transient blindness or the murmur when we are hurt at the local of cerebral artery extracranial. So pre-MRS, the patient have the MRS about 0 point and 1 point. At our hospital, we use the MRI to make the top 3D of the vessel so that we can see that we easily make the diagnosis of the degree of stenosis when we use the DSA like the base. So in 70 patients that if on the DSA imaging result that have the surface stenosis like the result of the MRI. This is on MRI, and this is on DSA. This is similar. And DSA, this is our result. With the surface stenosis, about 88%, like another research, another study. And there is not the statistically significant difference about the symptomatic or asymptomatic with the degree of stenosis. The degree of stenosis, we got about 80%, like the symptomatic or asymptomatic. With the P value is just 0.1. So the type lesson on DSA imaging, the whole like the lesson of the ICA of the origin. Some case with thrombosis, some case with eccentric, some case with ulceration. We have 8 case with dissection and 2 case of web. Here's the procedure. So the result of the intervention treatment, the residual narrowing for almost below 20%. No case that intervention failure. The intra and post-procedure event had no case with ischemic stroke, hemorrhage, or MI or death. Like another research that we have no MI complication, just 1 case with stroke. That's the case that I mentioned at the top topic, that a patient have the serve stenosis of the extracranial of the LACA. But he had the right MCA with stenosis, server stenosis. When we make the treatment for LACA, the 1 day before, after the treatment, patient was struck by the occlusion of the RMICA. Compare the pre-MRS and post-MRS. And so before MRS, pre-MRS, where patient with the MO 0.1 point, and after treatment, almost the patient have the point at the 0 point. This is treatment MRS. For almost patient had a MRS as 0 point. So restenosis with a stent requirement intervention shows only one case. This patient, because of the COVID pandemic, cannot receive the medicine. They quit up, so that when they come back to double check, that we find out that he have the restenosis that have to require the intervention. This way. When to make the diagnosis and we make the intervention treatment, because the COVID pandemic, he did not use drug, the medicine, so that restenosis. We just make the poor angioplasty. No need to place stent. So we have a case report. The patient, 53 years old, admitted to hospital with right side weakness. Experienced mild weakness, difficult speaking, history of radiation therapy for pharynx cancer. This is the lesson on MRI, and we got the server stenosis of the LICA. Medium stenosis of the right MCA. Make the angiogram. We have it's the review that serve stenosis of the LICA. Maybe the clot, or maybe the clot make the occlusion 1 French or MCA. So that we deploy. When we see that maybe the clot make the occlusion, the proximal vessel, that we have to deploy the APD, the embolism prevent device, at this segment, and we angioplasty. After that, we stenting and post-stenting, post-angioplasty. So this is the result. Totally no complication or event. The patient discharged after 3 days and no major event within 1 month or 3 months post the procedure. So the conclusion, the cause, carotid artery stenosis, often occur in an elderly male with the risk factors such as hypertension, diabetes, smoking, obesity, and dyslipidemia. The common symptoms include the weakness or paralysis on the side of the body, the TIA, the carotid murmur, and the transient blindness. Many instances of carotid artery stenosis may not present any symptom. The symptom collateration, the present or absent symptom, does not correlate with the degree of the stenosis. The most patients are diagnosed just using the 3D top MRI technique. Do not require the injection of contrast agent at the high sensitive and specificity. The cause, the stenting is minimal invasive, safe, with low rate of complication, effective in stroke prevention, especially for the patient with severe carotid artery stenosis. Non-invasive screening for the carotid artery stenosis is essential, particularly in individuals with high risk factor. The carotid ultrasound and the 3D top MRI can be applied for diagnosis. The carotid is straightforward technique that can be used widely, used to treat the severe carotid stenosis, serving as an alternative to the endarterectomy in the place where the surgery has not been implemented in the patient with high risk with the surgery. So that is the end. Thanks for your understanding.